What's going on, sports card hobby family? We are back again, another day, another sports card video. Today we're going to talk about Panini Prizm football basketball cards over the last 10 years is what we're going to focus in on mainly. And there's going to be a lot of tears shed here. Frank, get ready. There's going to be a lot of reaction. I'm just kidding. I don't think this is a crazy take, but hey, you never know. People get really worked up. Before I get started, big thanks to today's video sponsor, Hake's Auctions, the oldest sports cards collectibles auction house, 1967 when they came about, and just really good folks over there. They just had their September auction wrap up, but they're gearing up for a huge November catalog auction that is coming up. Definitely check out the website. There's a link down below in the video description as well as in the pinned comments. Hake's Auctions. Man, here in the US, we really value a good underdog comeback story, don't we? And I'm not necessarily saying that Panini is really going to be a comeback story, but they have very quickly in the hobby become the underdog. The Fanatics has rolled in, as we know, and piece by piece adding Infinity Stones to the gauntlet. And it looks to be like it's just going to keep on. The machine keeps rolling on.
The Empire is on the verge of success.
The latest one we talked about was wrestling cards, where the WWE has effectively terminated their agreement with Panini, even given the fact that a lot of wrestling card fans that I know of really love Panini products. So it's an interesting dilemma that we've got. This is one of those things we've talked about it. The hobbyists don't win here until it gets all kind of sorted out. All these industry battles, they don't really help hobbyists, whether you're a collector, speculator, investor. It's kind of similar in a way, I think, to investing as a whole in traditional investments. The one thing that companies don't like is uncertainty. And investors don't like uncertainty. They want to have an idea of, okay, what are interest rates going to be? What's the economy? They want to have kind of like an idea of what's going to happen so that they can price in these sorts of things. And when you have uncertainty, then you have all sorts of weird volatility, which could be a good thing for those that are collecting Panini Prizm. I've been pretty outspoken about how I've been going after certain players, very specific players. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Derek Carr. He's now the quarterback for my Saints. So, of course, I want to get some Derek Carr cards. And I think actually there's some room there. I think there's some potential kind of short-term growth. If Derek Carr can light the world on fire, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I mean, look, he's been in the league for 10 years. It hasn't happened. So it's a fun spec play for me. But what I'm kind of interested in here, and I made the comment before, I really think that this last 10 years of Prizm products specifically, not Panini as a whole products, Prizm products specifically, I think it's going to be looked on fondly as a set as we move into the future.
Entrepreneur.
Again, this is an opinion piece, guys. This is an opinion. I could be completely wrong. It could be the opposite of what I'm saying. I am just reading between the lines here. And what I do know, getting back into the hobby in 2018, 19, 20, and as we got in 2021, the Prizm was so expensive all the way around. And that's part of the reason why a lot of folks got into Optic and Select and some of the other brands, is because they simply could not afford Prizm going back a few years. And now this stuff is coming back down. There's been a correction in the sports card market.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
And you're now seeing more affordable Prizm products. And you could also probably lump in National Treasures and Flawless into this bucket as well. These kind of three brands within Panini, a lot of the prices for many players have come down. Even the GOATs, even the stuff that I collect with Tom Brady, that stuff has moved downward. I'm not saying it's inexpensive, but it's not continuing to go skyward as it was. So we've seen kind of a pullback in a lot of stuff. And so now it is fairly affordable. And so I titled this up like, are you ready for the Prizm dump? The reason why I say that is because the hobby, what we've seen is there are trends in the way that the hobby views certain things. So, money moves around a lot of times based on, some sort of idea that is caught fire.
You want football cards? Better eat your Wheaties.
And we've seen that money moves around based on these these trends or these narratives, these storylines, whatever. And I just think that Prizm is going to get forgotten in the short term. I think there's so much emphasis on Fanatics and Topps and the new products and everything that's going to be coming out here probably over the next couple of years. And now I'm wondering if people are going to look at, the last 10 years of Prizm like, oh, that's gone now. They're not going to be in the game. It's now Fanatics world. We got Topps Chrome back. Woo! And everyone's going to be focused in on that. And there's going to be a big runoff of like, you know what? I don't want this Prizm crap. This is crap. I'm getting rid of it. Oh, these are Panini products, and now Panini's going under, or whatever the story is behind Panini. and they move off of these things. And I hope that that is the case for the players that I'm collecting, especially because I'm a buyer here for this sort of thing. I really want, especially for the players that I collect, for everybody to think that, hey, you know, there's too many numbered cards. I've had some back and forth with folks about numbered cards because my mind has changed a little bit on this. It's something that as I've looked into further and I've studied sets over the given years, I have a little bit of a different viewpoint. I think if we're looking at Prizm from 2022, 2021, I can see like they've really elevated the number of parallels, and then you're kind of trying to figure out what's important and what's not. If you go to even like 2020, it's still high. I'll put up a checklist here. I mean, there's still a whole variety of different things to choose from. But again, I think just like with players that we're speculating on, it's the same with sets and certain parallels over time as to what is going to hold up as far as value. And so that's why I've really zeroed in on Prizm. Historically, I've also bought Optic and Select, and occasionally I will still buy Optic and Select, but now Prizm has come down on a lot of stuff to where it's like, why am I buying Select and Optic? Unless it's a cool PC card, like I picked up a Michael Thomas Optic Gold, and these are mega expensive, but it's Michael Thomas, you know, so there's not a huge demand for Michael Thomas. It's 10 of 10. It's the last one printed. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a lot of Michael Thomas stuff. Here's the one card I'll get, kind of like my cool PC card that I can get. And the prices have come way down on that stuff. But for, you know, Tom Brady or for Breeze, it's like, I'll buy gold Breeze or black refractor out of 25. I won't buy an Optic numbered out of 199. You know, necessarily. But if it's Optic Selective players that I like and it's low numbered stuff and it's sitting on auction and it's just kind of flailing around and there's not a lot of bids on it, sure, I'm taking a look at that stuff. And I haven't done a deep dive on National Treasures Flawless. It's just a little bit above my price point. I'm focused in on Prizm right now. After I really kind of move into the stuff that I want on the Prizm side, I will look at that National Treasures Flawless and just kind of analyze what's going on there. Has stuff moved down, or is it still kind of hanging around? The problem with the real high-end stuff is on eBay, you'll just see a lot of bins where people just kind of throw a huge bin out there. They don't need to negotiate. They don't really want to. They might have a huge Tom Brady card or huge Breeze card, let's say. They don't necessarily want to move off of it. You know, they're not trying to dump it. That's the type of stuff that they're just kind of like, they'll throw a, you know, $2,000 bin on something. And so I'm not even going to bother with it. I'm paying very, very close attention to Prizm mainly, but then again, when Optic Gold pops up or something interesting like that, paying very close attention because it's just funny to me how quickly everybody forgets just how excited everybody was about these particular sets going back a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Now all of a sudden it's like, this is crap. We're moving on. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. This is the type of stuff that I love. I love the look of those particular products. Whether, again, this isn't about, you know, Panini's quality control. It's not about their redemptions. It's simply about the product that they've put out. And from what I've seen, mega popularity over the last 10 years. And I know I had one commenter say, well, yeah, it's mega popular because it was the only option. But specifically to Prizm, you know, Panini would release a lot of different basketball products, let's say, or football products. And it was Prizm, it was, you know, Flawless. There were certain ones that really carried the rest of the line. So you can make arguments that Panini had, they had all these other different things. You know, they had Chronicles or they had Noir, you know, they had all these different sets, Flux. But those didn't catch on. So if those were the ones that caught on, I would have a different feeling. It would be Flux. I'd be, wow, look how popular Flux was. It just never was. It was never that popular outside of probably a niche collector base. So I'm focused around this. If there is a big dump, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for people to get so tired of all this Panini crap because now the herd is moving on to the next new shiny thing, whatever. It's going to be interesting to see. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.